Alright. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
I see your voice is a bit stressed out.
Go. Alright, hello, and welcome to another session and another episode of Changing the Narratives. And on today's episode, on the conversation series, we are here again to give you something that will touch up your year. Something that will touch up your year, something that will launch you into the next year. Something that would, take you to the year and then roll you over into the year proper. What you do this year, you shouldn't repeat it again next year. It's as important as that. What you do this year should not be repeated again next year. So that, when they talk about growth, you need growth to be able to move forward. You need growth to be able to move forward, which is one thing that is most important. And tonight in the studio as usual, I won't be doing this alone. I have with me in the studio my co-anchor, Mr. Muyiwa Wamidoju.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. So on tonight's episode, we'll be talking about keys for a sustainable growth in 2025. We'll be talking about keys for a sustainable growth in 2025. And without wasting much of our time, let's just say I feel this is needed because me, as a growing person, I like things that are practical. It is essential that when you are growing, you have to go practical. If you are not going practical,
Exactly.
you are not doing anything about your growth. A life of growth is a practical life. Everyday growth is a practical life. So whatever you are doing, if you cannot relate it with whatever thing that you are expecting, then you should think about it again and look it in another way. Then refashion it. Let it focus to whatever. Let your everyday life focus fashion to whatever thing you are pursuing. And talking about these keys to growth, there are so many things that can help you to achieve something, a growth that will be sustainable. And I think one of the keys is time. The first key is time. Many people are not able to manage time, which is one thing that has deceived many, that has broken down many. And in life, when you are running against time, you are virtually running against your growth. Running against time is running against your growth.
That's correct.
Yeah. So that is one thing I can say about time. Time. Don't run against it. Don't run against it. So
Alright, still on time.
Yeah.
You've actually discussed effective time management, which is crucial for our growth.
Yes.
I'd also talk about us prioritizing tasks and setting realistic goals. These are ways moves that once they launch out is going to be the talk of town and the like. But the fact remains that they procrastinate. The fact remains that their goals, they don't set it. Or they even tend to set goals and they are scared of birthing those goals to life. Because there are different factors. What will people say? I'm too young for this. I don't have the funds. They want to get everything all set before they launch out, which is really killing certain growth elements in them.
Yeah, I think I can relate to this. When I was starting out, when I wanted to start out as a podcaster, I think that time I saw an instrument that can be used for podcasting. So I thought to myself, Paul, why not get this instrument before you start? Okay. The first year I said I'll get it. That time I wasn't really doing well online, so I was just, the miscellaneous money I was getting, I was trying to, add them up, get the instruments that, when I launch out, people will see that, yes, that boy is doing well. But meanwhile, along the line, I felt I was deceiving myself. Okay, this year I will do it. Next year I will do it. When I sat myself down, I looked at it and I was saying, okay, if I'm saying I'll do this thing, I'll do this thing, I'll do this thing. Funny enough, till today, I still haven't gotten that instrument. Not because I don't have the cash to get it, but because there are other things to prioritize before getting that.
Exactly.
There are other things to prioritize before getting that thing. That is where the tax come in. Because once you have a task to perform and then you are pushing it, and because you are thinking of, okay, I want to get this, I want to get that before I can be able to perform the task, then you are deceiving yourself. You will not even do anything. You will just be stagnant. So when people now see you, they will say, see him, and he says he wants to grow. He's stagnant there. Look at him, he's stagnant now. And he's telling us he's planning to grow. So it will feel as if you are stagnant, not even as if. It will be as it is as you are stagnant. It is as you are stagnant. So I think it is important that you don't procrastinate whenever all these things you set comes into place. Whenever all these things you set comes into place, just go on with it. Don't wait until everything is perfect. No human is perfect. That's what I would say. Don't wait until everything is perfect. You cannot be like Mark Zuckerberg, or you cannot be like somebody that is popular already. You start from somewhere that is not popular. Yeah, you start from somewhere that is not popular. You take it one step at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. So I think with that, we should be able to grow better and also have a sustainable growth in 2025. Not even in 2025, beyond 2025. Beyond 2025. Because if you are saying 2025, then that means after 2025, some people might grow and then stop after 2025. Some people might grow and then stop after 2025, which is something that many growing people are falling prey of. Many growing people are falling prey of it. Because they say this year, let's grow. After that year, you are gone. Because the year is my year of growth or my year of flourishing. After you flourish in that year, then the next year, you don't want to flourish again. You want to remain stagnant. You want to remain in that spot. You want to remain in that spot. So I think that's it for it. That's it for it. You don't just have to stay in one place. You don't have to stay in one place. Growth is universal. Growth is universal. Just because you grow this year does not mean you should stop growing next year. Does not mean you should stop growing next year. So I think probably the topic for this is practical keys to a sustainable growth for 2025 and the year to come. So that on that, we move to the next key. Yes, I think this key is something that I have seen and that has been affecting so many people that are growing. That is health, mental health. I think we talked about this mental health in Iron Fair Part 2. Yes, Iron Fair Part 2, practicalizing who you are. Pardon me. Pardon me. That is, we talked about the second key, health, mental health. Okay, I think the network from Mr. Muiwa is a bit off. So while we wait for him, let me continue, and then when he comes back online to join us in the studio, we move forward. So the next key is health, mental health. We talked about this in Ayofe part 2. That is one thing so many people have failed to look at. Again, you want a stable growth, you manage time, focus on your health, focus on your mental health. These are two important things that would help you be stable in the coming year. These are two important things. Alright, yeah, Mr. Muiwa is back in the studio. So I've moved to the next point, which is health, mental health. So I was saying, we talked about this thing, I think, in Ayonfe part 2. Am I right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
So, and I think this cannot and can never be overemphasized
At all.
if you look at it really, because one thing is, okay, let me make reference to one of one public figure I saw his post. He said something. He was saying he was preparing for a launch of something. So because of that launch, he was, he gets himself busy, thereby forgetting his health. This one is not even health, it's physical health. So along the line, he broke down. The time for the launch passed, and he was hospitalized because of, he wasn't managing it. At that moment, his growth stopped. Whatever he planned for that time stopped. Not because he doesn't want to do it or because he has not prepared for it, but because he didn't focus on his health, thereby stopping whatever thing he has planned for that moment. He made everything come to a pause. Why? Because he failed. He failed in all aspects to focus on his health. On his health. Same thing applies to mental health too. Some people, now, the pressure online, when they start seeing somebody that they first launched out before them online, grow before them, they look at him and say, is it not that boy of yesterday? That boy of yesterday that man
Exactly.
that So they put that pressure on themselves. They forget about their own mental health. Yes, they forget about it, and along the line, things start turning around for them, and once that has turned around, everything goes haywire, and that's it. That's the end of the growth. And as I used to say, person wey mad no dey grow. As I used to say, person wey mad no dey grow. Somebody that is not in his right senses will not think of what next to do to be able to grow tomorrow. Will not be able to think of what next. Will not say, I'm thinking of what next to do tomorrow to be able to grow. So I think that's one thing we should also look at too.
Okay, sir. Mental health is actually a part that we cannot neglect in our growth cycle. We cannot neglect that part because we are made differently, and this is what other people fail to acknowledge. That we are made differently. We have our individual timing. There was a point at a particular time I was following somebody online, and she was always sharing stories of how God spoke to her at age 18. I think at 16 she wasn't in place or something like that. But at 18, God revealed marriage to her, and I was like, okay. At 18, for some people, God is revealing certain things that Like,
Yes.
even if they consider it at that point in time, they know that, no, my strength cannot carry me like this. So at 18, she was sure that God spoke to her about marriage. And I think at 18, she presented her man to the family. And like, at 21, she got married. And every day she posts some things to erase a notion that when people get married early, people think that they've made mistakes, or they think people don't get it right when they marry early. So early enough. I mean, at 21, people will be like, maybe she was pregnant or something. They will cook up stories for it. Now, that thing sat me down to think about a whole lot. And she did it the right way. Everything was well documented. And I was like, okay, there's something about timing. And the way it happens to everyone differs. So don't compare somebody's fruit to your own seed.
That's it.
So there are different things. Somebody is eating the fruit, you are just planting your own seed. So you want to compare. There are different things entirely.
That's it.
But many people just fail to notice that. They just put that pressure on themselves, and then
yes,
they start misbehaving. What me I would say is, it is well with our generation, because that's the whole notion of it. That's the whole notion of it. Because yes, sometimes I feel pressure too as a person. I feel pressure too. And when I see this pressure, I just go offline. I'm just off my phone. Nobody can pressure me. Let me go at my own space. Let me go at my pace. Once I'm done with my pace, when that person see me, the person too will tell me, bro, you are trying. Not that you are not working. You are working. You see what you are doing. So they recognize you, but you are putting that pressure on yourself. Nobody will later recognize you again. They will feel you are doing too much. You are doing too much. Yes, the people that will tell you that you are not doing well will later come back and tell you, bro, you are doing too much. Go and rest. Go and rest.
Yeah, that's true.
They will still come back and tell you are doing too much. So go and rest. Why are you rushing to? So once you are following your pace, and then you are minding your health, you are minding everything mentally, then what's there to say? It all comes.
We cannot really please people.
Yeah, we cannot really please people. So everything will just come naturally, and then your growth is stable.
Exactly.
All right. So I think we have one last point, which is growth cycle. This growth cycle is one thing many people don't fancy online.
Growth cycle.
That's family. You have a family online that you belong to. You are not an orphan online. I remember one time, UGS, we call him UGS, One Man on Fire. He said, it is not good for you as a growing person to come online and then you are an orphan. You are an orphan. It is not good for you as a growing person to just come online and then you are an orphan. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows your family. Nobody knows where you are coming from. Everybody just see you and say, oh, see that boy. Is it not that boy? That boy. After that boy, then what is it? So it is one thing so many people don't focus on. They don't remember that aspect of family.
They do not.
Yeah.
People really want to stand on their own when it's not their time for independence.
Yeah. They want to stand on their own and
they want to make the news for them. All alone with them.
That's it. So many people, they just do things the way they want. And one thing about this family online is, one thing I've actually noticed and I've actually come to thank God for this online family is that once you are digressing, they are always there to pull you back. But when you don't belong to a family, you are digressing, you are falling apart. They will just, now, when they don't know where you belong to, they will just leave you. Let him do what he wants to do. And then you are going and then you are going into the waters. But once you belong to a family and your brother sees you that you are trying to jump into a river, he won't allow you. He will draw you back because he feels he's your brother, doesn't want you to drown. So that is one thing about online family.
Yes.
So family cannot be excluded.
Yeah, you are right with that. I mean, the day I figured out. Yeah.
So
You are very much correct, sir. The day I figured out that this our popular Christian movie brand, Mount Zion, is owned by I think more than 5 people. I was surprised because we get to see certain people. So if they don't come together to agree, I mean to build this company, we will not be hearing of them. They will have long be forgotten. So it takes a whole lot to have a family that supports your growth. It takes a whole lot to be associated with a family. You cannot really stand alone and get it done. It isn't done that way. That's why God sent helpers to us. So we need to mingle with people that are, that will not be oppressed by the things we've achieved so far. People that can guide us
through. They'll be encouraged with whatever we do, and then when they see you, they are happy for you, and then they are also at the same time pushing you into the right path.
Yeah, genuinely happy.
Genuinely. That's it.
Yeah, exactly, sir.
So I think with that, we can say growth not just in 2025 is possible, but also beyond 2025, also beyond the year. So it is possible when you have all these keys. It is 3. When you have all these keys guiding you. So I would say in my own final words that in whatever you do, take your time, let your time be as important as your growth. Number 2, your health. Don't joke with this. And number 3, don't play with family. Don't play at all.
All right, my final words to those listening to us is that you should always surround yourself with people that are supportive, people that are positive, people that see brighter side of your career, people that know what you have and they can really help you to better it. And I would also say that you should plan your time. If you need to shun the media spaces, do everything possible for growth. I didn't mean you should go through the dubious means. Do everything that is legit for growth.
Okay, so alright, I think that's there we have it on tonight's episode. So the keys to attaining sustainable goals in the coming year. And I hope 2025 and the year to come will be a year of sustainability. To have a wonderful year ahead.